So we're getting all caffeined up and everything, and I'm thinking, all right, hey, they're done with coffee. All right, we're going to go. All of a sudden, Tom says, gee, you know, I'm hungry. Phil, are you hungry? Oh, yeah, I'm hungry. Chad, are you hungry? No. And I'm sitting there, all caffeined up and everything. Then they decided to eat, and we were there another 45 minutes.
Yeah, Chad's going, get me the hell out of here. I'm going to go fucking insane.
Well, I was just thinking, man, oh man, yeah, it's just like sitting in one place and we saying the same thing, and then all these, man, she could talk on, well, you know her much better than I did, but she'd start talking about people I didn't know, and she'd say, do you remember so-and-so? I learned later I should have said, oh yeah, because the minute I said no, then she went back through the whole line of how I should know them.
Oh, yeah. They were something, let me tell you.
But they were nice, you know. I mean, it wasn't like they were mass murderers or something. They were nice. I mean, I would not want to be their neighbors just because I wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't click. But, you know, they were nice enough. Even on the radio, she'd sound kind of squirrely from time to time.
Well, they were retarded. I mean, they were first cousins, you know. Like I say, you know, all the kids were retarded except for that first one that they had. I mean, that was the only one that I met, and I've met all five of them. You know, like I say, I only met him couple of times there where he, you know, relation or something had died. And, you know, he didn't look nothing like, and he was nothing like, you know, that person I'm guessing there was not Henry's, you know, because he didn't even look like Henry or even Seal. I think she was fucking around.
Well, yeah, maybe it was another cousin. Who knows? I shouldn't have said that.
I don't remember. He had something to do at some corporation. You know, he was smart. You know, I mean, not like the other four kids that were totally fucking stupid.
Yeah, I wonder if, let's see, what year was this? This would have been, or was it our moving in party, our housewarming party? I think that was it. So that would have been about 88 or 89. 88, I think it would have been. So, I don't know what age this guy would have been then. He'd have been, whoever, you know, they were all real small, but, I mean, as far as, you know, age-wise. But he seemed, yeah, he seemed like, he seemed different than the other ones. I bet you that was him.
Yeah, like I say, he didn't even look like Henry or Seal, you know. Totally different hair color, you know, from the both of them there. He was totally smart. He was, I don't know, executive CEO of some plant or something. I don't remember what it was there. That was way too fucking far ago for me to remember. But yeah, you know, I mean, he was totally smart. You could actually carry a conversation with him. Not like the other four fucking kids. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, I kind of like Henry, man. I didn't, you know, for a little bit, you know, not for long times, but when he talked to me, he always, you know, he'd always have a shit-eating kind of grin on his face, or a wide expression. I'm trying to remember which. and he had a couple teeth, I think, that were gone. I don't remember for sure. I could be wrong on that, and talked very loud right at my face. And, you know, so it kind of, when I think back, it kind of makes me think it was a rather comical-looking guy, but a nice guy, though, nice guy.
Like I say, you know, as much as I know about the family, I think that was a big, insensitive fucking family.
Wow. I'd be the only actual family with incestuous goings-on that I've ever met. Not that it's something to write down, but...
Like I say, because from what I remember of the family, and I met quite a few of the members of the family, they were all fucking goofy, you know. I think that was a big inceptive family.
Well, after you mentioned that to me years and years and years ago after I first met them, and we all started talking, you know, yeah, I kind of figured, you know, you might be right, just by the physical signs and everything, but I'm one of these guys, I don't notice anything different about people. As I said, man, I'd be a terrible witness for a crime, because if nobody's doing anything out of the ordinary, I don't notice it, but yeah, I think you're probably right, because I remember when you told me that, I started thinking about it, and I was talking to Terry about it, and she says, yeah, I think so. I says, well, what? She says, I kind of thought that up. I says, well, why the hell didn't you tell me?
Yeah, like I say, I forget where the hell they came from. Louisiana or some goddamn place.
Yeah, they were, and not so much Phil, but Henry's voice, you could tell, you know, incredibly. Well, maybe it was Phil's a little bit too, but...
Yeah, they moved back. They moved up here. I forget. They had some relation or something that moved up here. And then they decided to move up here. I forget where the hell they... I think they were from Louisiana.
That could be. That could be. She wore the pants in the family, though, right?
I don't know.
I mean, she always seemed to be in charge, Phil did. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe, like I say, that's a hell of a long time ago, but, yeah, it was a nice visit there at Hardy's, and on.
Probably because, Henry, you ain't getting no pussy tonight if you don't do what I tell you to do.
Well, okay there, Henry. You'd have to do what you want, but but yeah, oh yeah. And what am I? I'm nothing. You know, I'm just an average Joe too. So I never did have anything against them, but I'm just saying that they were well taken, a little bit at a time, and I like being friends with them, but I wouldn't want to be neighbors with them. If that makes any sense.
Right. Unfortunately, I was neighbors with them.
Well, maybe they were trying to adopt you.
No. I tried to stay hidden. That was why I built that big garage, just so that they couldn't look in the fucking windows.
Well, I don't blame you.
Oh my God, she was like the nosiest person I think that I've ever known in my life.
You know, after that McDonald's thing there, or Hardee's rather, after that thing sitting there that day, and it seemed when she'd, he was waiting for another refill of coffee, these guys looked at her like, wasn't a very nice look they gave her.
That's because everybody in Berlin knew him. You know, like I say, I don't think that woman ever slept. 8 years that I lived next to him there, I don't think that woman ever fucking slept, because you could come home, didn't matter what time of the fucking day it was, you'd see the fucking curtains peer open. What are they up to now?
Every time you get up, you look out there and there she's peering at you.
You could come home drunk 4 o'clock in the fucking morning and you'd see the fucking curtains peer open. What the hell are them two up to now?
No, I would have a lot of trouble living next door to somebody like that. You know. yeah. But, oh well, are they pulling those? Are Henry and Seal both passed away now, or?
I think so.
Yeah, it's been an awful long time.
I know Henry passed away, and then I think Seal, from what I had heard, she got put in a nursing home or something, assisted living home, and then a couple of years after that, she had passed away.
Oh, wow. But, you know, I was just sitting here thinking, I can picture her in a nursing home, as much as she enjoyed all the gossip going on. Oh, I'll bet you she was busy as all get out in one of those places.
No, she didn't last long, you know, without Henry. I mean, them two depended on one another, you know. I mean, I always do that, you know, that without Henry, no, she wasn't going to survive. But without fucking Seal, he wasn't going to survive. So it'd be a few years apart that, if not almost instantaneously, that they'd both die.
Wow. Wow. You know, in a way, that's pretty neat that they, you know, that they got along that good and everything. And, yeah, I never heard them fighting or anything. Of course, I only, you know, usually was on the radio, and I wouldn't hear Henry anyway, except on occasion. But, yeah. And then, that's pretty neat that they had each other. It sounds like they were kind of devoted to each other, and hell, that whatever works.
Well, the reason why you never heard Henry too much is because that poor fucker was working most of the time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, grabbing every bit of overtime that he could there, and, you know, well, wouldn't you be that way if you had a wife like that? Man, I wouldn't want to be home.
You know, I never thought of it that way, but just thinking of those two, yeah, maybe.
Oh, my idea about it was when the old lady started her fucking bitching, you know, I grabbed the checkbook and go down to the bar. But they didn't drink.
Maybe they should have. Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, that wouldn't work, because they would have had to drink at home. They didn't have enough fucking money to go out and drink, you know. I mean, whereas, you know, I did. You know, I just, you're going to keep your fucking bitching up, I'm going to the fucking bar. You know, they didn't have the money to do that.
So I suppose, you know, this day and age, a lot of people don't, myself included, but, yeah, I suppose. Well, you mean you didn't take them out on the town every now and again?
Fuck no, I wanted to keep as far away from them fucking people as possible. Well, like I say, you know, when I met her, it was like, so where do you live? She said, right next to Henry and Seal. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, all of a sudden they cross their fingers and go, stay back, stay away from me. You know, I say that because they reminded me so much of a family that lived next door to me when I lived in the Mobile home court in Fond du Lac, one of them. And one court, not one family, but, well, both, I guess. But, and pretty much the same way. He's a bigger guy, you know, kind of heavy-set guy. But she wasn't, you know, she wasn't laid back, or not laid back. She wasn't mentally challenged or anything, but her only problem is that she couldn't read. And she couldn't spell. And I don't know. Of course, maybe she was having something there, because she'd come into some conversations there, and it would sound kind of like what I remember what Seal sounded like. So that's what I kind of think of when you know, when you're talking about them. But
well, like I say, you know, when I met my ex-wife there, she invited me over for a party. Okay, you know, so I'm going down the street. She didn't really know, too many people there, and you know, so I'm going down the street there, looking at the addresses, you know, shining the fucking spotlight, you know. Okay, you know, I don't even remember what her address is. It's like, oh my fucking God, she lives right next to Henry and Seal.
Bet that made the property go up, huh?
It's like, oh my God, do I really want to get to know this woman or not?
Well, who knows? There's probably people that look at you and I and other people that way too, so, you know, what the heck.
You know, and as time come about, I wished I would have just fucking let her go. She wasn't worth a fuck anyways.
That's your first ex?
Second one.
Second one, okay.
First ex wasn't worth a fuck either.
Well, see, that's why you know, whenever you refer to them, it's not in the nicest of manners, so I can never, or in ways, so I can never tell if you're talking about wife number one or wife number two.
The only thing I had going with me on the first one is she was ugly as a fucking mule, you know. So you knew goddamn well she wasn't going to be cheating on you.
You never told her that, did you?
First, the other one wasn't too far behind her.
Well, I shouldn't say anything, because there were, at that time of my life, there were a lot of, well, let's put it this way, the hot chicks versus the don't take my picture type chicks I don't want to be seen with her. More often than not, it was the don't take my picture with them, I don't want to be seen with them. But every once in a while, and I had a girlfriend that I met there, and yeah, she's nice looking and everything, but she's kind of strange, so she left. But yeah, you know, it was kind of weird at that time.
Basically, I should have stayed away from both of them. You know, fucked them once, yep, I had them. You know, just to say that you had them, they weren't worth the fuck. You know, leave them go on their way.
That's one thing I give myself credit for. If I was out looking for an amoric evening, shall we say, amorous evening with a young lady or whatever. Hopefully she was a lady. No, hopefully she wasn't a lady. But I always made sure that I kept my wits about me, because if this wasn't a girl that I'd want to be seen with and introduced to my friends and things, no, don't do anything. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. That's what you do with your inner fluids there, so you don't knock them up. Because I wouldn't, I couldn't imagine myself being married to somebody that I couldn't stand. That's a little too strong, maybe, but.
Well, like I say, first wife, she was ugly as a fucking mule. But the family had a lot of money, and, her mom was just as crazy as she ended up, so I should have took that into consideration, which I did, because I was young, dumb, full of cum.
Weren't we all? That's another reason I was fortunate too, but nothing like that happened. But yeah, it was the times, man. It was get closer to closing time, you just wanted to get laid. You didn't care with who.
Well, and kind of and I've already told you that situation. I was going out with a fucking beautiful fucking girl, man, which was best friends with my first ex-wife. And I told you about that situation there. And that's how her and I got hooked up in the first place. But, after I had thought about it for a while, it's like, oh shit, your fucking family's got fucking tons of money. Maybe this might not be so bad.
Yeah, close your eyes and, yeah. No, I never was in that situation, I don't think. Because if I was, if anybody had lots of money, they sure didn't let me know. So maybe they did, and they just were going to get rid of this clown.
Right, I mean, but she ended up just as fucking crazy as her mom. I mean, like I say, bipolar, that's where my daughter gets it, it's like, not from me, she gets it from her fucking mom.
I often think that if I had kids,
where she was raised by,
and I knew I wasn't going to have kids because of my lifestyle, man, with my music and stuff and traveling and well, now, shit, if I were 30 years, 40 years younger now, boy, I'd be a great dad, stay home, not do anything wild. But no, I knew it didn't make sense for me to have kids because I don't know, it just didn't. But yeah, and boy, I often think if I'd have had kids, I was thinking just the other day about this. All right, say I knocked some gal up at 18. So I'd have been 19, kid had been 19 years older than me, 73. Kid would be 54 years old now. Holy shit.
Right. I mean, like I say, the old saying goes, the apple does not fall far from the tree. And that means the way that you're brought up. And also family genes. Like I say, I was just looking at it as, hey, the family family has shit tons of fucking money, man. You know, it's like, man, this can't be all that fucking bad. I got her knocked up anyways. You know, just throw a fucking, or keep the fucking lights off, you know. She had a nice looking body, though. You know, I mean, ugly as fuck looking face, man. She looked like a fucking mule. You know, it's like, she had a good looking body.
You know, wasn't that the way sometimes it would work out? Now we're sounding like a couple old male chauvinist pigs, which at this time of the morning, well, I'm not a pig, even though I need a bath. But, yeah, you know, there'd be, you'd be sitting at a bar stool, and, you know, then from the back, a girl would be, yeah, not bad, you know, a nice shapely body, and from the back, you know, her hair was long and down, and they, you know, they didn't seem like gorillas or nothing. They were, you know, they have good manners, and then they turn around and look at you, and man, it can make you stop breathing.
Well, I know, and that was the first time that I met her. You know, it's like me and, you know, Linda were going to a fucking bar, and that was the first time that I met her. You know, and you know, I went into the bar, not a bar that I usually went to. It was down in Markesan. And, you know, I'm looking at all the chicks in there when I walk in there, you know, and it's like, oh, wow, them fucking two are just fucking hot as fucking hell, man. You know, and then Linda turned around, and I recognized her, and it's like, you know, and then her friend turned around there, and it's like, holy fuck, is that ugly?
Did you ever sit back and try and figure out who the ugliest, that's a terrible conversation, who the ugliest girl you ever slept with was? And I ever picked up, ever got laid with, you know, I don't want to say slept with, because you probably weren't doing any sleeping, but do you ever think about that?
No. I mean, I've never done that, you know. I mean, that was probably the ugliest one that I've ever went to bed with. You know, and that was kind of a, you know, well, that was hard to get drunk, I guess.
Oh, sure. Sure, but just thinking over the years and some of the bullshit lines that I used to use, and oh man, like I said, I was a real scoundrel, and I think back to some of the lines I used to pitch to these gals, and they were drunk too, and they fell for them, and oh my gosh, you know, when I die, I'll probably be about 100 years in purgatory. You have to go to live that one down. But I've been trying to figure out when this noise level is going to go away. It's been here for 35 minutes now. I think this one is going to stick around, so I'm going to say adios.
All right.
I hate to do that. It's been fun. But, yeah, remember last night it stopped, I had my static come in for about 10 minutes, you know, and then it went away for a long time, but tonight it just wants to be sticking in there. So we'll see you later there, Dennis. Have a good day today, and we'll catch you when we get.
All right, 7 days. Probably catch you tonight.
Yeah, that'll work. So see you later. Anybody else out there, have a nice Monday. WINO 1 said that. WINO 1, the good-looking one. See you later.
Check.